Hey, welcome back to my channel, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. So as you can see, I got the Mandalorian sitting in front of me along with some Boba Fett's. This is the San Diego Comic-Con Boba Fett. He just happens to still be standing out here from my last video. I brought this one back out. This is the the Boba Fett that I made. That was a compilation of Jango Fett and Boba Fett where I modified the helmet and did the head swap on the Boba Fett body so I can have the removable helmet because of the rumors that he's coming in to Season 2 of The Mandalorian. This was the original release of The Mandalorian last year, and although I didn't complain about it because I thought this was an excellent figure, I may have mentioned when I made this one here, which is my custom Beskar Mandalorian, that I thought they should have released a Beskar Mandalorian at maybe Christmas time, since he really was in this outfit for like one episode, and the rest of the season he was in the Beskar armor. A lot of people say that that would have given away too many secrets, but they did release the Cara Dune figure later and the heavy infantry Mandalorian later, so I think we could have got that Beskar Mandalorian a lot sooner. Of course, at release, we also got this Target exclusive Carbonized Mandalorian, which I've been happy to have out and standing out in my collection. If you remember a previous video, I usually have him standing atop his Millennium Falcon Tech Deck skateboard that I got at San Diego Comic-Con a few years ago. So I just wanted to go through those really quick. So talking about new releases, the new release I'm going to show you today is the Mandalorian in Beskar armor. This is the official Hasbro release. It's in the newfangled edged box, which I think is actually really cool. In just a second, what I want to mention though is the releases we had at PulseCon, right? What we saw was the Armorer, which is a fantastic looking figure, and I'm glad that we're getting that one. We're getting some credit collection, Mandalorian, Cara Dune, IG-11, and the Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, which I think are going to be fantastic figures. But what we didn't get was we didn't get a quill. As you know, I made my own custom a while back. We did not get a Grief Karga, and we did not get Moff Gideon, but I'm eagerly awaiting the release of these characters, or at least this character, in an official release so I can sit them up there with the rest of my figures. And we may get some figures as the season progresses, because they're going to do like this Mandalorian Mondays where they're going to be releasing stuff every Monday, it looks like. But let's get to it and open up this figure. But we got these two, and you think I might have mixed them up, but I took a close look at them before I started holding them. As you can see, this one's got a light brighter portion here. There's definitely a color difference. This is actually the new one, which is kind of surprising that they didn't make it look more weathered and make it darker. They actually made it look a little bit brighter. So it is painted a little bit brighter, so you got that difference. You do have the same pistol. Unfortunately, taking it out of the package, it kind of bent the tip a little bit, but I'm going to probably put that in the holster and forget about it. So here's the backpack. As you can see, it's got a nice brown tone to it. I kind of remember it being a little bit shinier. That's why if you see my custom one, I did a shiny version of the backpack, but I think it's pretty much the same backpack except for the tip right here is kind of balled off a little bit more. They're not as pointy, these pieces, as that one that I'm using for my custom. And they do have these two jets that have these holes in them. So if you have any of these Marvel Legends fire pieces like that, they'll fit in that little hole if you wanted to try to pretend like you had a little jetpack flame coming out. They are kind of angled, but if you set it just right, if you were taking pictures, you can get a little flame shooting out, which is kind of a cool feature. And you're going to have to move this cape a little bit to get that to plug in, because it's right in his back, and if he's right here over the shoulder, it's going to be a little bit in the way. But he's got that same notch in his strap and in his back for his rifle, which looks pretty nice. Let's take a look at the head sculpt. One thing I noticed about the Mandalorian is that he doesn't have like that antenna for his helmet, and I think that's fine. So let's take a look at that shoulder pad. That's some really nice detail that they put in there for that. You can see the arm guards. Would have been nice if maybe they would have added like a little bit of color or something down in there just to like offset it a little bit, because you know he's got those electronics in there. He's got a little bit of gray, which offsets that total brown look, which is really nice. This is all very nice flex. And he's got some really good detailing in the clothing. I really like this upper arm piece here, where you can see that there's something going on, like with the shirt coming out. And then he's got some nice detailing down here in the leg as well. And he's got pretty much the double jointed knee, which gives him about that much movement. He's got the elbow that gives him about a little bit more than 90 degrees movement. So the shoulder pad is kind of like flexible right here. So when you put the arm up, it doesn't completely hinder his movement. It kind of goes over and the arm stays under. So I'm hoping that doesn't like cause that shoulder pad to like fall off over time, but it will give him some good movement if for posing. And then of course he's got the hand movement. He's got the ball joint right here, right? And he's got good leg motion. And he's got that upper leg twist, and he's got the standard foot motion, but no upper leg, you know, where the boot would be. So if we take this and compare it to the original Mandalorian that came out, you can see on the original Mandalorian, he had some tarnish on his helmet. And on the new helmet, it's really very clean. He doesn't have the bullet holes. The outfit is a little bit different shade of brown. It's not a gray. And you can see where that piece is a different color. On here it's like a gray. It goes better with the silver. It's like he's got the same sort of setup on his belt. Of course, these leg pieces are a little bit different. This one looks like it's spray painted, so it may not be the Beskar. It may just been painted to match the rest that became Beskar armor. And then the lower legs are pretty much nearly the same, except for some slight variations in the color. Okay, so here we're back. I got the Mandalorian set up. He's got his gun in his holster, which looks pretty good. And I did put his backpack on. The problem is that either his cape's gonna have to come off, or it's gonna have to go over the backpack, which looks okay, I guess. From the front, you don't really notice it. You know, there's no way to tuck it under, and unless I punch a hole through the cape, there's not going to be a way to stick that on. So this is kind of like an afterthought. But if you just wanted to have your Beskar Mandalorian displayed along with your figures, it's a really nice piece. I was very glad to get it in the mail today so that I could show it off. And I think it's a really good addition to my Mandalorian collection. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe and come back for more.